Good morning, kings and queens, gentlemen and ladies. This is Refined Rose back with another video. Y'all, I guess when we meet somebody new and they're asking us a whole bunch of questions about our personal life, what our job is, where we stay, our interests and our dislikes, and about our vehicles, or even about our assets, the same questions they're asking us, we should be asking them the same questions. So, with my sixth husband now, he asked me about my truck that I had. I still have that truck, a Dodge Ram, and he wanted to know if it was mine or if it was somebody else's, because I'm a female and I drive a truck, and I pretty much always have driven trucks. So, and I told him the truck was mine, but what I should have been asking him, after he asked me a question about my Dodge Ram and told him it was mine, and he made the comment, "You paid a lot of money for this new vehicle. Trucks are expensive." Mind you, I haven't known him that long, and I answered the question, "Yeah, it's my truck." And he was talking about how expensive it was. Well, I didn't go into details how much I paid for the truck. I'm making the payments on it. I figure it's none of his business how much the truck total is and how much I pay on it a month. But he eventually asked after we got married, because at that time, that truck was over $80,000. So he was curious how much I was paying per month. So long story short, he used to drive an array of vehicles. Nice vehicles. And I just assumed all these vehicles were his vehicles because he's a restaurant owner and they make good money in this restaurant in Van Alstyne, Texas. So after we got back together, he didn't have most of those cars that he was driving. And other family members were calling about those cars because they're not his cars. So to make a long story short, I just assume, and it's never good to assume, that since he's a restaurant owner, he's managing his money good, he don't need me for any money, and he has all these cars. Well, I don't think now, I've learned my lesson, assumption isn't good. So after those cars were given back to loved ones or either broke down, he was jumping in my Dodge Ram. And I'm a neat freak. I have diagnosed OCD, so my truck was always cleaned and washed. The leather, it's a limited Dodge. The leather was always wiped down. So when he got in my vehicle, he junked it. It was sticky. He had, I must just say what it is, piss bottles, Gatorade bottles. He would pee in them instead of finding somewhere to stop and pee. He was pissing in these Gatorade bottles. It was French fries all over the floor. It was lettuce everywhere. So he had no respect for my vehicle, but he respected other people's vehicle. Now I'm wondering if he didn't have any respect for my vehicle just because he didn't have any respect for me, and he was beating me up most of the time. So my thing is, we need to ask these abusers, hey, do you own your house or are you renting? Do you own all these cars, or are you renting these cars, or do they belong to somebody else? And also, y'all, he worked on other people's vehicles. Like if they need like the door latch or handle fixed on the door, he'd take the car and he would drive it as his primary car and work on it and wait until the parts come in. So I was assuming that these cars that he was getting from family and friends, or from whoever he was picking these vehicles up from, I was just assuming they were his vehicles. And I'm sure they're not aware he's driving them like they're his vehicles. And I don't understand why he was so broke if he was taking the old parts. Let's just say he had to do work under the hood, and I don't know much about a car. He had to do work under the hood. He'd go buy the new parts, charge the person for the new parts, take the old part off, put the new part on the vehicle, save the old part, clean it up real good, spray paint it, look brand new, put it back in the box, and take it back to AutoZone, O'Reilly's, or whatever auto store he bought the part from, and turn it back in and tell him it didn't work and get the money for it. And he used to do this often. And some of these parts were pricey parts. So my thinking is, why do I have to pay for everything if you got a scheme going on like this and it's wrong and you don't have any money because you work on cars an awful lot? And alarm bells should have went off too after I saw this, after months being with him, and all those car parts was piled up in our workshop. And I'm like, we need to throw some of this away. And it had the original boxes. He's like, no, I'm going to clean those up. I'm going to spray paint those. He said, that's money sitting on that shelf. And he was like, you better not touch them. Y'all, the stuff that some of these abusers have going on, and they have nerve to be rude to us, abuse us, and some of them are delusional. When you try to tell them something, they'll point the finger at you, and they really believe that they're in the right and you're in the wrong. That's all I have for now. Refined Rose out. Bye for now.